Over the weekend, a friend of mine introduced the term unconditional love. And I thought about how that term has evolved for me over the years. I first became aware of that term when I was a young boy and I was learning man's thoughts, particularly the Catholic Church's thoughts on God. And they told me that God loved unconditionally. Now at the time, my only experience with love was through my mother and father. And I came to believe, or I believed at that moment, that love was what my mother gave me. Primarily what my mother gave me. She gave me a sense that she would always be there for me. She would always care. She would always be interested. She would always be there for me. No matter what I did, whether my behavior was positive or negative, and through positive and negative behavior, I either brought her happiness, joy, or sadness, and depression, I guess. But I knew I could affect her, but I knew whatever I did would never stop that love. So when I heard about God being, as a being that loved unconditionally, I thought that that was the kind of love it was. That this being, this reason for my existence, would love me. And it would love me without question. It would be affected by my behavior. I could bring it happiness or I could bring it sadness. And that's what the church taught me. Through sin, I would bring it sadness, and by good works, I could bring it pleasure and happiness. Well, I knew that was true to humans, but I soon found that it wasn't true to God. For God was not affected by my behavior, whether it was positive or negative. My brothers and sisters and the existence that I existed in was affected by it, but not the creative force, not this being that I thought was the reason for my being, existing. So I had to change my thoughts on what unconditional love is. And I began to realize that unconditional love is not made up of emotion. Because at that particular time I thought what my mother was giving me was what I was feeling. I thought that that was what love was, what I was feeling. And it was, as I said, a sense of trust, a sense of power. That you had something that somebody would never stop giving you. And you could test it, and they would still give it to you. But God, you couldn't test. I tried, but still it still gave me my life. It still gave me the ability to live and to experience life and to do as I wished. It never wavered. It always gave me that. Each morning when I woke up was a new day and a new opportunity. I could make it a bad day or a good day, and the next day I'd still get up and have another opportunity to do either the same or something new. So my understanding of unconditional love and love itself began to evolve, and I separated emotion from it. Because love is not affected by emotion. It's not moved by it, nor does it give emotion. You may experience emotion by what you receive from it, but it doesn't give emotion. So my sense of unconditional love was that this being, this creative force, gave without question, without reservation, and it didn't see anything as more or less than everything else. It didn't care for something more than it cared for anything else. It was equal. It was same for everything. The dirt, the trees, the stars, me, everything it saw as equal. And it loved it, and it gave to it equally, without reservation. It was I who made distinctions. It was I who loved with conditions. It was I who required certain behaviors. But this love, this unconditional love, doesn't. It requires nothing. It just gives without question, without reservation. And as long as if I can realize that and I can emulate it, I come into harmony and to balance. I don't want something more than something else. I don't see something as being better than something else. Everywhere I'm at is the place I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to get, and I can get as much enjoyment from that place, in that moment, in that space, as I can in any other place. But when I yearn or I dread, I bring myself out of harmony. I bring myself out of balance. Unconditional love. It's a far cry from what I thought it was in the beginning, when I first learned of it.